This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A-game. A-man, no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This is an A-game, better bring your A-game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A-game. A-man, no rain from...
Hey now, it's the Mike and JD Show, and I am your host, Mike Gilbert, and I'm joined as always by JD by God Oliva. How you doing, JD?
Oh, not too bad, actually. Last broadcast football game of the year for us next year. Tomorrow, actually, as we record this. So I'm excited. Well, that's like officially like a third, roughly, of the way through the school year already. If you base it, I like to base it off the sports season. So you're like roughly quarter, third of the year way done, which is crazy to think about. So it's kind of cool.
So
it's
your last.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, is it the last broadcasted game? But it's not the last game, right?
For us to be the last football game, we're gonna be 0-9. So our football team is pretty bad this year. So there's the last game. Thankfully. So then we'll move on to wrestling and basketball season where things are better. I also have a free book out currently on Amazon. If you want to read Harvest Moon, it's available till Sunday for free. So go into Amazon, look up JD Oliva Harvest Moon. It's my werewolf book, available for free all week. We've netted like about 2,000 free books this week. It's been pretty awesome.
Sweet. Yeah. Hey, send me once this is over, send me the link to it, and I'll put it in the podcast description.
Oh, sure.
That way, when I give it to Rich, it'll be all over. Like everything that we share for this episode.
I should have thought of that weeks ago. Yes, good idea.
So we have like a decent platform to be able to sling those things.
I compartmentalize like too much. I got writer brain, I got teacher brain, I got podcaster brain. It's hard to. I struggle getting them to like work together.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. You know what? It's been a great week. There was a couple of nights where I was like up all night. Which ended up being like okay because I had like the TV to myself. So
were you up all night or were you up all night?
Up like Rhonda Shear, up like all night. Yeah. So I did get through the Fear Street series on Netflix. Highly recommend. Good. I love them. It's kind of like, I think it's way better than Scream. I will say that.
Really?
Because at first I thought they were trying to go for like Scream, right? Mm-hmm. But it ended up not being like that. Like the opening scene of the first movie, of the 1994 movie, made it seem like it was going to be kind of a Scream ripoff. I was like, kind of Netflix is doing another ripoff. But it takes some twists and turns, and it's actually like really good. And then by the time you get through the third movie, it was a pretty damn good series, I thought. Like a good horror series. And then I think adults, when they think of like R.L. Stine, they naturally think of Goosebumps, which Goosebumps ruled when I was a kid. But you're an adult now. You might not want like kids horror. No, this was made for adults. It's like cursing and different types of content, super bloody, gory. I thought it was great, and I'm surprised that I had never heard of it. I was just kind of like going through Netflix's horror section, and it popped up. I was like, oh, let me check this out. It was like a suggested thing on my Netflix, like you might watch, and so I was okay. Let me check that out. So that was cool. And then a couple of nights ago, I got through Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. I had never actually seen that before.
All right. Get the button ready. What did you think of Halloween 3: Season of the Witch?
to be quite honest, I actually kind of liked it. So I assumed I was gonna hate it, but then once I realized, like, here's the problem with the movie: it's a Halloween movie that doesn't have Michael Myers, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, but overall, I was like, it's kind of a cool concept. It kind of reminded me more of They Live versus like a Michael Myers movie. You know what I mean? And so like once you get past the fact that it doesn't even come across as a horror movie to me. Like I don't even think it should be in the horror section. Like to me, like I was watching it and I was like, this is not a slasher film. There's no monsters, like there's robots, right? Like there's like robots, and that was kind of like it. But by the end of it, I was like, okay, this is kind of a cool movie. I thought. Now, would I give it like a great rating or anything like that? No, but by the end, was I upset that I watched it? Absolutely not. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun.
So I'm gonna tell you a little JD story right now. My grandma passed away in like probably 1983-ish. And during the time of her wake and funeral, I was 3 years old, 2, 3 years old. And my cousins babysat me and allowed me to watch this movie on VHS in like probably, 83, 84, something like that. And it is burned into my brain. This is probably why I'm the way I am. The scene where the kids are watching the TV, the test, and the bugs start coming out of the masks and all that stuff, right? As a little child, this like scarred me, right? Like, again, I'm a little kid. I'm younger than Izzy at this time, right? Like it just fucked me up completely. And I thought it was Halloween. So for years, this movie Halloween was in my brain. And when I was older, I finally sat down to watch the first Halloween. John Carpenter, I was probably like 10. And I 10, 11, watched Halloween for the first time. And I came out of them like, what are fucking kids with the masks?
Yeah.
Like so confused. I'm like, this is actually a good movie, like Halloween. And then I figured out, oh, that's Halloween 3 that messed me up, the Season of the Witch. And then I finally watched it when I was a teenager. And I'll tell you something. I love the concepts of this movie. Yeah. Like the Silver Shamrock jingle. I have that on my Halloween Spotify playlist. Do. Love it. Happy Halloween. It's an earworm. Goes in your brain for like ever.
Happy Halloween.
Silver Shamrock. Like I adore it. The concept of these druids who are taking Halloween back and they're just gonna fucking kill all the kids in the world to do it, genius. That couldn't work today because we have more than 3 channels. But I mean, like in 1983, great concept. Here's my beef with Halloween 3. It has nothing to do with Michael Myers. I think the execution just kind of sucks. Like I think the concepts, I think they swing really hard. Like they're swinging for the fences. But thunderstorm here. But it just doesn't land. It just doesn't land.
I get the feeling like it didn't do very well at the box office. Would I be correct in that assumption?
It did not, because people went to the movie and said, "Where's Michael Myers?" The problem with now we were talking with Daz about this online. Our buddy, Daz, big movie guy. He would like the idea of if Halloween had stayed like this idea of an anthology film series, and I agree. The problem is you can't start an anthology film series with 3. Yeah. You've already established with 1 and 2 that they're about Michael Myers. Now in 3, you're going to give us something completely different. And then go back to it 4. Like 4, Michael Myers comes back. It's this oddball stubbed toe.
Well, they realized probably at the box office, like, we just thought by putting the name Halloween on this thing that we could probably do pretty well. But no, it wasn't the name. Like the name Halloween is still big. Don't get me wrong. But Michael Myers is the fucking star of the movie.
100%. Like if they just called the movie Season of the Witch, people probably would have judged it on its own merits a little bit better. And I try to, because again, it's not fair to compare this movie to a Michael Myers movie. Quite frankly, it's better than a lot of the Michael Myers movies. Most of the Michael Myers movies are fucking terrible. Like
I really love the original. Yeah. Like I think that's pretty great. I think Halloween 2 is like pretty good. Yeah, 4 and 5, not interested. I didn't think 4 or 5. And then they came out with one like a year or 2 ago I watched it on Peacock and I thought that was just okay.
Yes, this is a live stream. Sorry.
Yes, Dream Ultra Crazy. Yes, we are live. We are live. Hey, everybody, if you're in the chat or if you're watching this online on YouTube, regardless if you're on the Voices of Wrestling Network or if you're on the Mike and JD Show Network, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you like this video and then lay down a comment. Help us defeat the algorithm. When you like and comment and subscribe, it actually sends a signal to YouTube that says, "Hey, these guys got something going on over here. There's something happening." And you need to make everybody pay attention to it. And then that'll actually draw in more viewers and that'll help us out. So please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it.
Dream Key Crazy doesn't like the horror movies. And that's okay, because this is a Voices of Wrestling show where we talk about everything but wrestling at the beginning of the show. And then we get into the wrestling.
Yeah.
So as we're on the topic of Halloween, I have to do this because one of the most fascinating things to me is Halloween continuity, right? Halloween is its own thing. And now it's like the branches spread out from Halloween, because Halloween, then you get the original Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 5. And then that's the original Halloween continuity, right? Yeah. Then you go to Halloween H2O, which was Halloween 6, which was the original which Halloween H2O is actually a sequel to Halloween 2. Halloween H2O, the one that came out in like 1998, completely ignores 4 and 5, the Danielle Harris as Michael Myers' little sister movies. Completely forgets those. So Halloween H2O, and then you got the sequel to that, Halloween Resurrection, which again, great concept. We're gonna do a reality TV show in this spooky old haunted house. Oh shit, Michael Myers is gonna kill everybody. But it's a terrible movie. It's much like Season Witch, terribly executed. Right. So then you have the second branch of Halloween continuity splintered off. Then you had Rob Zombie make his 2 Halloween movies that both sucked. Don't see them. They're really
sucked bad. Yeah.
Terrible movies. Then Joseph Gordon-Green, David Gordon Green did his. So his Halloween movies that started in 2018 were actually sequels to Halloween 1 that ignore the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis, aka Laurie Strode, is his sister. So no, these movies are completely different. Michael Myers isn't supernatural. He's just big and strong and scary. So then there's this 3 continuity spider webs, except for the Rob Zombie. That's its own thing. That's splinter off the first movie. Then you have Season of the Witch just hanging out here in the corner, doing its own thing. Never been connected to any of the movies.
Right.
It's
wild. It's the one movie that's like a complete outlier. It is not connected to anything involved in the Michael Myers universe.
Which is weird because in the Michael Myers movie with Paul Rudd, I think that's 6, 5, I forget. With the Curse of Michael Myers, they tie him into the Druids. I remember watching it the first time and go, oh, they're going to bring in Silver Shamrock. No, they didn't. They had the opportunity and didn't, which made it even more weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really like some remakes I dig. I think that if you got like a really good director and a big studio behind Season of the Witch, I think I agree. The concept of that movie could actually play pretty well.
100%.
But just don't call it Halloween.
No, I agree. I think there's enough big concepts in Season of the Witch. And I think now you could do it too with the internet. That might be even more interesting. Like I would love to see someone try to tackle a Season of the Witch remake because the nuts and bolts are there for a good movie. They just didn't stick to landing because they were just cranking those things out. They weren't putting much thought into them, so there wasn't a lot of love in it, but there's some really cool things. Like I love it's iconic in its own right. It just doesn't stick to landing.
Yeah.